The news likes to call everything a viral social media trend when in reality nobody's ever heard of them. So today we're going to be reacting to these viral trends and seeing what they're actually talking about. And I'm going to be reacting to 3 videos today, and after each one, tell me if you've ever heard of this before I showed you it. And please do not participate in these trends, and I also extend my condolences to anybody affected by doing these trends. And with that being said, let's get into this first video.
This morning, a new warning about another dangerous challenge going viral on social media. This time, the so-called fire breathing challenge.
The fire breathing challenge. I wonder what could go wrong with that. You know, I always wonder, what does the news classify as like a viral trend? Like, are they thinking 20 people doing it is like a viral trend? Because I feel like that's what like their standard is.
You're not meant to breathe fire as human beings.
Wait, we're not meant to breathe fire? Wait, no way. Who would have thought that?
Authorities in western Pennsylvania say a teenager is lucky to be alive after trying to breathe fire with isopropyl alcohol. The teen is now in the hospital, intubated with serious burns.
Okay, all right. Not to sound insensitive here, but if you're a teenager and you don't know that you're not supposed to breathe fire, something is wrong with you, all right? Like, I don't know, is that a parenting mistake? Is that just like you're not fully there in the head? Because you should know at like 5 years old to not play with fire. Like, I don't care what you see on social media, because for one, first of all, I've never seen this trend on social media, but you know from a very early age, don't play with fire. And like this trend, which I've never heard of until today, I feel like the news is just blaming social media instead of the parents, instead of the kid, because any teenager should know, hey, I'm not supposed to inhale fire. This is not the fault of social media. This is just kids not being smart. Like, we do stupid things as kids, yes, but inhaling fire is not one of them. And look, we all did stupid things growing up, but if one of my friends was like, yo, we should inhale fire, I would look at him like, what are you talking about? Good Lord. All right, let's look at this next one.
The troubling trend on social media that's leading to real-life dangers, often involving kids. Anna Schechter, senior coordinating producer for CBS News' Crime and Public Safety, is here with the story. Anna, good morning.
Good morning, Kelly. It's known as subway surfing.
See, I've actually heard about this before, not from social media just because, but there have been kids who have passed away from this.
People hitching rides on top of fast-moving subway trains. It's not only dangerous, it's illegal. And here in New York City, police are taking to the sky in an effort to tackle this problem.
Okay, see, once again, this is an example of, for one, this is not a social media trend, all right? Subway Surfers the game, that's a trend. Sure, you want to say Subway Surfers the game, playing it, yes. But doing this in real life is not. And like, these are kids who are teenagers, okay? You have a brain. You should know that these types of things are dangerous. And especially something like getting on top of a moving subway car. What the are you thinking? Do you really think that that's a smart idea? Like, this is not the fault of social media. It's the fault of stupid kids. Like, I'm sorry. There's no other way to put it, okay? Like, you could say a social media trend, for example, was the cinnamon challenge. That's an example of one. But subway surfing onto real cars, onto real trains, that's not one. That's just being stupid. And it's also the fault of the parents. I'm sorry, but you also need to teach your children, hey, there are things you shouldn't be doing. And while I do agree, the child is the one who's kind of more at fault here, because at 13 years old, you should know, not to play with cars and trains, but the parents also have some fault here. And once again, when I was 12, 13 years old, never once was I like, you know what, let me go play in the street where cars are. Let me go run on the train tracks. Like, I wasn't doing that. Like, I don't know if kids are getting just more stupid or what's happening, but this is not normal, all right? This is not something that social media is causing. But yet the news is blaming social media instead of making parents take accountability. And this is just what messes with like my head. It makes me so upset. But all right, let's get into this last video.
We hear about all these social media trends. This is a social media trend gone wrong. This time in Lancaster County, police say a 9-year-old was burned by his older brother who poured boiling water onto him.
Sounds like something you shouldn't do, obviously, but these trends...
What social media trend could this possibly be? Is there a trend called pour boiling hot water on your brother? Is that a trend? Because I've never heard of that, all right? I've never seen that before. And like all the years I've been on social media, I've never seen that.
It's kind of encouraged this in a way. His brother says this was part of the hot water challenge. CBS 21's Andrew Klein been looking into this, the social media frenzy.
Okay, guys, maybe I'm just not on a certain side of social media, but please tell me, have you heard of the hot water challenge? I've never heard of this. I've never seen of this. This news story was the first time I'd ever heard about this, because for a 12-year-old to think pouring boiling hot water on somebody is a trend, is a challenge, is funny, that is the fault of the kid and the parent. Because when I was 12 years old, when I was 6 years old, hell, I knew, hey, boiling hot water is hot. It will burn you. You do not touch it. I knew that from a very young age. My friends knew that. We all knew that. Yet somehow, like, this is social media's fault. And when you think about the whole history of social media, there are a bunch of different trends. But the ones that I've played for you guys, just please tell me, have you guys seen these before? Because I haven't. And look, I know kids aren't perfect. I know when I was growing up, I made so many stupid mistakes you couldn't even imagine. But the thing is, there was like a level of some, I don't know, like consciousness, urgency, logic that I did have. Even when I was doing stupid things, I knew there were some things you don't mess with. And if I was 12 years old, 13 years old, and I saw stupid trends like this, I know I wouldn't have done it, because I would have been like, hey, pouring boiling hot water on somebody, not good. Inhaling fire, that's even worse. Subway surfing on a moving train cars, that's like even worse. And in all these cases, the people who have been injured and affected by it, I feel really sorry for them. But I'm also not okay with the news being like, hey, this is social media's fault. Hey, social media is to blame for this, and not the parents, not the kids themselves, or not the friends. Like, they're putting the blame on everybody but the people who actually deserve it. And look, while I do think social media has had some really bad effects on kids, I don't think things like this are the fault of social media. So I'm just curious, like, what do you guys think of these trends, and like, what do you think of the news, you know, calling everything a social media trend? Because personally, I think it's just distasteful. I think it's shifting the blame onto social media when it's, you know, not the fault of social media. But yeah, so you've seen 3 viral social media trends. Let me know if you've ever seen these before in the comment section. And with that being said, if you guys want more of this content, let me know, and I'll probably upload another video sometime tomorrow. And with that, peace out.